Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner's online youth event. My name's Jane Gardner. I'm the Deputy Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner here in Essex. Very proud to be so, but even more proud to be co-hosting this event today. Really excited, lots and lots of schools joining us online, so welcome, you're very welcome. This is all about you, this isn't about us, and we're really keen to hear from you. On the bottom of your screen, you'll see a QR code. If you scan the QR code, you'll be able to ask questions directly of us. That would be fantastic. So get in early. I'm expecting there to be a big rush, lots to get through today. So whatever questions you can ask us will be fantastic. So get them in there. We've got a really fantastic programme for you today, with large thanks to you, the young people, in helping us pull this together. The first session we're having now is about the role of police and fire in community safety. So really going to be a great session. On that basis, I'm going to introduce you to my co-hosts now. So if you'd like to introduce yourselves.
So my name's Gillo and this is Janelle. Yeah. And we're both members of the YEA. The YEA essentially aims to have young people across Essex have a voice, and yeah.
It also offers loads of opportunities for you. Like, for instance, this is one opportunity for us to be here in front of all of you guys.
Yep.
And also, if I can just ask my boss to introduce himself, could be career limiting if I don't.
Hi, I'm Roger Hirst. I'm the Police, Fire and Crime Commissioner for the County of Essex, which means I am the democratically elected person who makes sure that police and fire and rescue are doing what the communities need to do, and unfortunately have to also set the taxes to make sure they're funded to do so, appoint the Chief Constable and the Chief Fire Officer, and make sure that the voices of the people of Essex are heard. And that's what we're doing here today, and that's why today is frankly so exciting and so important. Really thrilled to be here. The Young Essex Assembly is a fantastic organisation. I know we're reaching out to a lot of schools across the county today. Hopefully other young people will actually just log in from the social media stuff that we've put out there. Really important to hear your questions. I know Jane's already pointed to the QR code. I'm sure you know how to use that. I think I could probably figure it out, but it's apparently it's really easy. But it's really important, please, that we get people's questions. Really looking forward to that. There will be a competition during the day for the two best questions. And the two best questions basically will be those which create the most discussion, or perhaps put me and Jane on the spot and make us answer things that you're really interested in. So please do come forward. I think when you come forward and put your questions in, really be good if you could put your name and your school. That will remain just for us. We will see that. We won't make it public, so you won't embarrass yourself. Your friends and colleagues won't know unless you want them to. So please, looking forward to a really exciting day, and yeah, we're in your hands.
So if I may, just a really exciting programme. So the next session at 11:30 is going to be about knife crime, and we've got our Violence and Vulnerability Unit and Essex Police coming to talk with you and take questions. We've got a session on water safety, really, really important. And of course, Roger's joining us at the end of the day to take your questions directly. And as he said, best question, the one that stimulates the most debate, the most interesting one, there will be prizes. So please get your questions in, scan the QR code. So I think I'm handing over to you now to ask us some questions.
Yeah, so thank you. We just wanted to ask you, Roger, what are you most excited for today? What are you looking forward to the most of the young people?
Well, I mean, I think we've got some really good content, but really today is about hearing from young people. I'm really interested to find out more through the question and answer and the discussion in the various sessions. What is it that young people really care about in terms of community safety? We do surveys, we try and get out and talk to people. We hear about the concerns that people have about drugs, about knife crime, about sexual crime and those sorts of things. But this is an opportunity for you to actually bring forward what you care about, and that to me it's not just exciting, it's actually really important. Young people, yeah, you need to have a strong voice. most of you are under 18, you won't yet actually have a vote, but you will do soon. And I just need for people to understand you really can influence the way that these services that make sure we have safe communities, you can influence how they behave.
Thank you. So I think we're just going to hand over to the questions now. Thank you, Roger, for answering. And yeah, we're just going to start looking at the questions now. So I can see some of them start coming in. So we've got, where's that one from?
Yeah.
Hassanbrook Academy. Are we in the UK more tolerant than other countries regarding bladed articles?
Well, that's an interesting question about sort of international comparison. I think we are less tolerant than many and probably more tolerant than some. I've lived in quite a few different countries. I lived in Germany, France, America, Switzerland. And Britain is different. We have a very open society here, a lot of civil liberty. People can do a lot of what they want to do. And we have relatively low crime rates. So yes, we are quite tolerant, but we are quite active in preventing people doing bad things. If you compare that with those other countries, you have the same sort of liberties and freedom in America, but it's a much more violent society. There's an awful lot more harm in America and a lot more crime, a lot more knife crime and an awful lot more gun crime. And yeah, the level of people dying in crime is so much higher in the States. If you then compare it with Germany, I really like living in Germany. I'm a very law-abiding citizen. I don't mind a fairly tight regime, as you might say. But it has lower crime, but it has got a very intolerant approach to people's behaviour. And I actually think that Britain's got a really strong mix of freedom and low crime. So I'm not advocating intolerance, but we need for everyone to know that carrying a knife is putting yourself at risk. It is a dangerous thing to do, and we need to live in a society where young people do not feel the need to carry knives.
And if I can just add to that, great question. Come back at 11:30. We're going to talk about knife crime in more detail with the Violence and Vulnerability Unit and Essex Police. So a really great question. Well done.
Yeah. The next question that we have is, what more can be done to tackle violence against girls and making them feel safer in public spaces?
I think this is one of the key priorities in my police and crime plan. Violence against women and girls is far too high. I think the government has been a help in the last few years in bringing in new crimes. So stalking and harassment has actually become a crime. We now record, I think it's about 25,000 incidents of stalking and harassment in a year in Essex, which would not have been dealt with by policing in that way in the past. And yeah, we also have controlling and coercive behaviour as a new form of crime, which again is largely in the domestic abuse space, not in the open space that you're asking about there. So there's been a help in terms of tightening up the law to be more protective of women and girls. What we can do is both be more active, but also be more receptive. I think women and girls need to know that when they come to the police will listen and they will be believed. And the crime will be investigated. Obviously, there's then the process of actually having to find the evidence if we're to take anything to court. But there is a lot that the police can do as well to protect people. And we've done some really interesting stuff. One example on the bunny walks in Chelmsford. We're doing some stuff now around Greensteads in Colchester around safer spaces. So that is improving the environment. It can be better lighting, it can be dealing with some of the undergrowth so there aren't dark corners where women and girls feel afraid to walk past as night falls or whatever. But it can also be CCTV, so we actually have a controlled environment. It can be encouraging community groups to be supportive of the area. So there are people there who are capable guardians who are looking after the space. And that, I think, is having quite a big impact on making those safer spaces. We had feedback from the government about the fact it wasn't actually reducing crime, and my point back to the Minister was, yes, but people are going there now. They weren't before. You know, it was a space that people were avoiding.
But I think, if I may just add to that, what's really, really important is, I mean, we're doing lots. You've heard what Roger said, we're doing lots, but what we really need to know is what you think we could be doing to make your environment safer. We absolutely want people to feel able to go out night and day, and, you know, as we say, we're investing lots of money, but what is it you think we should be doing, we could be doing to make your environment safer for you?
Thank you. So the next question is, what would you like to see improve in Essex for young people?
You go.
Okay, so, you know, again, you know, Roger and I absolutely want to hear from you. What do you think could be done? We hear a lot when we go to public meetings and we talk to young people, and we talk to young people as much as we can, because it's really important to get that temperature check of where you think you need additional support and help. And, you know, I think that there's much more we can do to work with other agencies, our partners, around activities, diversionary activities. What I mean by that is, you know, skate parks and other opportunities for you to be able to live your youth, as I lived my youth when I was younger. So really important that we provide those opportunities for you. But again, really want to know what you want. Roger.
If I can just come in on the, I absolutely agree with what you said there, Jane. I think the most important thing, what do I want for young people, which was, I think, the question you put, is for them to feel safe and for them to know that the emergency services are there for them. Yeah, so I was quite worried. I came into this role in 2016 and did some schools visits then, and was really concerned about the fact that I didn't come across a single young person who thought of a police officer as a trusted adult to go to. When asking them that question, they gave us lots of examples of teachers, of course, and parents and nurses, doctors, other people that they knew. Not one of them cited the police. The police need to be, when you're in a difficult situation, the police need to be the most trusted adult for you to turn to. And we have to improve that relationship between young people and policing.
Thank you very much. We now have, how can I work for the police and fire service?
How can I work for the police and fire service? Go on, you go first.
Oh, lots of good ways. So we have police cadets, we have fire and rescue cadets. So join them, they're great fun. And I think they do some really good work around the county. So that's one way to do it. If you actually want to get a job when you leave school, do apply. We are recruiting for both services. It is really great to join the fire and rescue service. It is a fantastically useful thing to do for your community. One of the things you can do is you can actually have a full-time job and be an on-call firefighter. So you get paid for that, but you only actually turn out when there is an emergency. And that's a lot of the county is covered by our on-call firefighters. So you step forward, you get trained, and you get paid if you get called out. But in the meantime, you can go about your job in your local town or village, which is really exciting. And on the policing side, even more exciting. I know a lot of young people are concerned about student debt. The good news about policing is if you join the policing through the Police Educational Qualification Framework, PEQF as it's called, the police sponsor you to get a degree.
Might have to look into that.
And in addition to that, it's just worth saying as well, on the police side, you can also volunteer. So
yes,
you can volunteer to be a special constable. Can highly commend it to anybody who's thinking of it, having spent 7 years doing that role myself here in Essex. It is a really fantastic role. It gives you so much confidence and so many skills that are transferable into your day-to-day life, into future work. So if you are interested, go to the Essex Police website as well as Essex County Fire and Rescue website. There's lots of volunteer opportunities out there for people.
And jobs.
And jobs. Yeah.
Thank you. So the next question is, what can we ourselves do to help our own schools and communities?